Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Journey with God. Today we're diving into a topic that so many of us wrestle with, trusting God's timing, especially when the waiting feels hard. If you're in a season of waiting, whether it's for a breakthrough, a relationship, healing, or simply clarity on your next step, you're in the right place. Trusting God's timing isn't easy, but it's absolutely possible. So, let's explore why waiting on God is so important and how we can stay strong during those times of uncertainty. First, let's tackle the big question. Why does God make us wait? Sometimes it feels like God is silent or delaying his response for no reason, but there are actually several purposes behind waiting in our faith journey. Growth and transformation. Waiting often challenges us to grow. It's a refining process where we learn patience, resilience, and dependence on God. James chapter 1, verses 3-4 says that the testing of our faith produces perseverance, so we may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Deepening our trust. In times of waiting, we learn to trust God beyond what we can see. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. When we wait, we're learning to rely on His wisdom instead of our limited perspective. Preparing the blessing. Sometimes what we're waiting for simply isn't ready yet. God may be preparing a blessing or situation that requires time to develop fully. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. In other words, God's timing brings completeness and beauty. So while waiting may feel challenging, it's often God working behind the scenes, preparing us or the situation. Now, let's dig deeper into what it really means to trust God's timing. Acceptance of God's plan. Trusting God's timing means letting go of our expectations. It's saying, God, I don't understand why things aren't happening now, but I trust that you know best. Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8-9 reminds us that God's ways are higher than our ways, meaning His timing is aligned with a purpose we may not yet see. Learning to find peace in the unknown. Trust doesn't mean we won't feel anxious or uncertain at times. Instead, it's about turning to God in those moments and asking for peace that surpasses understanding. Philippians chapter 4 verses 6-7 tells us to not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Trusting God's timing means choosing peace even in the unknown, believing in His goodness. To trust His timing, we have to believe in His character, that He is good, that He loves us, and that He has plans for our welfare, as Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 says. When we remember that He is for us, it's easier to trust that His timing is for our benefit, even if it feels delayed. So how do we actually put trust into action during a season of waiting? Here are some practical steps to help you grow in trust and faith. Pray consistently. Instead of only praying for the waiting to end, start praying for strength, patience, and wisdom. Ask God to help you grow through the season rather than simply getting through it. Romans chapter 12 verse 12 says, Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Focus on gratitude. Waiting can make us feel stuck, but focusing on what God has already done in our lives helps us remember His faithfulness. Keep a journal and write down things you're grateful for every day. This practice can renew your faith as it reminds you that God has been with you before and will be again. Surround yourself with encouragement. Find people who can support you, pray with you, and encourage you to keep trusting. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24-25 says to spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together. Having a faith community is powerful during a time of waiting. Use this time to grow closer to God. Waiting often provides a unique opportunity to build intimacy with God. Spend time in the Word, worship, and quiet reflection. Draw closer to Him rather than focusing on what you're waiting for. Psalm 27, verse 14 encourages us saying, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Let go of control. One of the hardest things about waiting is feeling out of control. But remember, God is in control even when we aren't. Practice surrender by giving your situation to God each day, saying, "I trust you with this, Lord." Letting go of control brings peace and keeps us focused on God. Whenever you feel like giving up or doubting God's timing, remember these verses. Write them down, keep them in your phone, or recite them to yourself as reminders of His promises. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. This verse is a beautiful reminder that God strengthens us when we hope in Him. Lamentations chapter 3, verses 25 to 26. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in Him, to the one who seeks Him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Even when we feel like we're waiting in silence, God is good and faithful to those who wait on Him. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. This is a powerful promise that even our waiting is being worked out for good. These verses are not just words, they're truths you can lean on and find strength in as you wait. Waiting is rarely easy, but remember that it isn't wasted time. God uses seasons of waiting to strengthen us, deepen our faith, and prepare us for what's ahead. When you trust His timing, you're letting Him be the author of your story, and God's story is always one of hope, purpose, and redemption. So keep praying, keep trusting, and remember, you're not alone in this journey. God's timing may feel different from ours, but it's always perfect. Thank you for watching today's video. If this message spoke to you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more faith-based content. And if you're in a season of waiting, I'd love for you to comment below and share what you're trusting God for, so we can encourage each other. Stay blessed, and remember, God is with you through it all.